I call this meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Luis Cabrera,
Present.
Councilmember Maria Cecilia Cruz,
Present.
Councilmember Tadeo Azael de la Hoya,
Present.
Councilmember Esteban Rosales, Councilmember Lisette Servin,
Presente.
Vice Mayor Javier Vargas,
Present.
Mayor Nieves Raydell.
Present.
Mayor, you have a quorum.
Thank you. Councilmember De La Hoya, will you please lead us?
Item number 3, invocation. Joseph Reynoso, Police Chaplain.
Good afternoon, everyone. If you would like to join me in prayer. Father, thank you for this day. Thank you for the opportunity that you have given us to be here tonight. Lord, we just ask that you'll lead this meeting and that you'll give the wisdom and guidance to each council member, Father. We also ask that you will protect them as they continue out their day. Lord, we are grateful for this community. We are grateful for its citizens. And we ask, God, that every decision that gets made today glorify you. Lord, we give you thanks in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you.
Item number 4, call to the public. This is the time for the public to comment. Under ARS Section 38-431.01I, members of the City Council shall not discuss or take legal action on matters raised during an open call to the public that are not properly noticed on this agenda for discussion and legal action. At the conclusion of an open call to the public, individual members of the City Council may respond to criticism made by those who have addressed the City Council, may ask staff to review a matter, or may ask that a matter be put on a future agenda.
Please come forward.
Good evening, Mayor Rydell and the City of San Luis Council members. My name is Mayra Franques, and I work as a business counselor at the Small Business Development Center. I come here to share with the community and to everyone watching that I'm going to be the facilitator of this Dream Builder program, which is a 7-week program where people can go from a pre-venture to a business in the span of 7 weeks. This will be a program open to the public at no cost, and we will be offering light refreshments throughout these classes. We will be starting on March 9th, and our graduation will take place on April 20th, and it will be a program that is open to all, so I highly encourage you to share it with any family members or any community members in the city of San Luis that are interested in starting their dream of opening a business. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Anybody else? If there's nobody else, we can move forward.
Item number 5, proclamation presentation. Item number 5A, proclamation on Government Communicators Day, February 20th, 2026. Now therefore be it resolved that Mayor Nieves Raydell hereby declares the proclamation in the city of San Luis, Arizona, this 11th day of February 2026. Item number 5B, presentation on Greater Yuma Economic Development Corporation's mid-year report. Greg Lavon, CEO for Greater Yuma Economic Development Corporation.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. Good to see everybody tonight, some of you for a second time. I come before you this evening to give my mid-year, but before I do that, I want to take a quick moment to draw your attention to our annual report that Sonia is going to be passing out right now. Within there, just want to quickly outline some of the successes and accomplishments GYC has had over the past year. We've had quite a few. We've changed a lot as an organization. I think many of you who've come to our luncheons have seen that. Our focus is wider, more aggressive, and what I'm most proud about is the fact that it also is helping every part of our county. In the past, UAC had a lot of focuses in particular areas of Yuma County, but now we can honestly say that our impact and our efforts are being seen and being affected across every part of Yuma County, including San Luis. So hopefully at some point in time, you can take a look at that and see what we're doing. But along with that, I'm very excited about where we're going. In our fiscal year now, a lot of successes have already been accomplished, and we have a lot of projects on the horizon that we really are excited to talk to you about for San Luis. So with that, first slide, please.
You have the clicker.
Oh, I have a clicker. Okay, thank you. Okay. I think that's the end of my presentation right there. Okay, great. So I always like to start with this wheel of services and support that we provide. A lot of people think about GYAC as just a company that focuses on bringing in companies, but as you can see from this very robust service list, we do a lot of things to help support economic development throughout the entire region, from workforce development to site selection to infrastructure development, along with market analysis, supporting Armando on a lot of his efforts through supply chain, stakeholder engagement, and even public relations. Our job is wide-reaching. The economic development field is different for every single community. And so we want to make sure as we go forward, we are focusing on what matters to the city of San Luis, not to the city of Yuma, not to Yuma County, not to the town of Welton. You know, you have your own needs, your own assets, your own strengths, and we want to be able to promote those. And so as we go forward, I want you to understand that every single one of these items on this wheel are our focus for San Luis, and any kind of support we can provide or leadership we can provide in any of these areas, we are doing that in conjunction with Armando, Jenny, and your staff to ensure that San Luis is getting the full support of GYDC and essentially getting your investment back tenfold. I do all that with a mighty staff of 5 people who really work like 15. And I'm very proud of all their work that they do on behalf of all of our different partners. But with that, obviously, we're constrained by our staffing levels, but we do a lot with what we have. In the current year right now, at the mid-fiscal year point, you can see some of the successes we've had. These are from companies that currently are either located in San Luis and or in Yuma County, and their potential investments throughout the entire county. Within there, you can see some names you're very familiar with. Some other projects that we have not had the liberty of announcing yet, like Project Ambition, which will be a major announcement for Yuma County. But going down that list, depending upon what matters to folks in regards to our performance metrics, we try to outline each of those so that you can see what we're doing, how it's impacting our entire community, because we really consider ourselves a regional group. And so our efforts are always focused on every single one of the municipalities that we represent. And for me personally, the focus I always want to make sure is, are we creating quality jobs? Are we bringing in companies that are going to be elevating the income levels for people so they actually afford to build homes, they can afford to take their kids to school, they can feed their families, and ultimately create a better quality of life for every resident in Yuma County? And within there as well, you can see with the companies we currently are working with, there's a breakdown. We poll them every year where their employees reside. And as you can see, even though a lot of these companies may not be in San Luis residents are working within these facilities. So our goal is always to bring more investment down to San Luis, more job attraction down here. But even when companies do not locate here, they are benefiting from the amazing workforce that you have in the city of San Luis. We've always known that, but now we're able to quantify that, and we have no doubt going forward that this will continue to be the same kind of exemplary numbers as we bring on new companies. A couple of major items that I thought everyone tonight would want to know about as they start to take shape. We are focused right now on 4 different areas we believe are really transforming the overall economic landscape in Yuma County. The first one being Opportunity Zones 2.0. Armando and I actually had a meeting today to start planning on what sites the city of San Luis would like to submit for the Opportunity Zones. For those of you who may not be familiar with the program, essentially it's a federal program to induce investment in rural communities. And companies invest in these zones, whether it be hotels, hospitals, residential, pretty much every industry besides SIM businesses benefit from essentially shielding their capital gains taxes within a 10-year period. They keep their investment in the Opportunity Zone for 10 years, at which time when they pull it out, they actually don't pay any capital gains tax, and they benefit from all the principal equity in that actual zone. So it can be very lucrative to companies looking to invest in San Luis, and actually kind of that final incentive for them to justify the costs of investing. And so we want to make sure that working with Armando and Jenny, we are identifying the sites that you believe should be within the upcoming zone. We have to submit those to the governor by the end of May, at which time she will review them. We'll work with our partners to ensure that our sites are being considered and hopefully submitted within the Opportunity Zone track so that they will be official, and we can now go out along with Armando and start promoting City of San Luis Opportunity Zone sites. Data centers. It's a taboo subject. Some people are against it, some people are for it, some people just don't know enough yet. But the reality is that they're coming this way as well. Big cities have embraced them for a long time. Now they've hit a kind of a satiation point where they no longer have the power or the appetite for data centers, but data centers themselves still need more locations to find. And so as we move forward, this will be a conversation we have with all of our municipal entities. Are these projects you want to see in your backyard? If so, how do we ensure that if they do locate here, they're hiring people here, they're paying some kind of, I know you don't have property taxes, but some kind of benefit comes to the city of San Luis in which can help your budget. So that will be a planning endeavor we continue to work with Jenny and Armando on. But ultimately, if it is something the council has an interest in, we want to ensure it's done right. It's with the right users within data centers that are known to be quality developers, and that the city of San Luis can benefit financially from their presence and not just be a location where the company comes in and locates their development. And then major infrastructure developments. I'm going to talk about this a little further in my presentation, but many of you already may know that multiple natural gas developers have made public announcements that they want to serve Mexico along with the United States. And one of them in particular, Grupo Clisa, has gone out public already and said they want to bring a pipeline down through Yuma County, running adjacent to 195, entering in through the city of San Luis, at which point in time they'd be going into Mexico to serve CFE's power plants. We want to ensure that if that does occur, that we have an opportunity to tap into that natural gas line for power generation, for future development, so that City of San Luis is positioned for all industry growth in the future off of this natural energy source. And then last, and I believe that they've been down here and met with the council and other administrative staff up until this point. So they're very vocal. We have two other groups as well that have the same interest in bringing a natural gas line through Yuma County, down through San Luis into Mexico. So for us, we're agnostic. We just want to ensure that this project benefits our community, it benefits your community in particular, and that we can benefit from that natural gas line to create new economic development opportunities for the city of San Luis. And then lastly, foreign trade zone. As the trade wars continue between our country and other entities, we want to ensure that companies that are feeling the pressure to come back onshore know that Yuma County exists and that we are open for business when it comes to foreign trade zones. So within there, we are actively recruiting groups out of Mexico, out of the EU, out of Asia, to let them know that as they need to expand and or bring back domestic production, that Greater Yuma is open for business and our foreign trade zone can be very lucrative for their operations as they try to source goods from abroad, but keep their tariff and costs down. Moving on to marketing. In our past year, as I talked about, we have really transformed our marketing efforts and become a lot more aggressive as a whole. As you can see here, the example of our industry guide on the left is what we do for our region, but then we're also working with Armando and his group on developing a City of San Luis specific guide that they can take to different trade shows, conferences, and other marketing efforts so that you're telling your story more comprehensively. So my team is an excellent marketing group. They do a phenomenal job with development of materials. So we're trying to utilize the investment you have in us to help your economic development department put together great materials as well, representing San Luis that you can be proud of and that you can use as you go after hotels, retail, and industrial development. And then we're also working with the Visit Yuma and Gowan, Onvita, and a couple other major partners on rebranding the greater Yuma County area so people don't just see us as a pass-through, they don't see us as an area that really has nothing but ag, but understand that there's so much beauty throughout our entire region, and obviously focusing on San Luis is part of that. Leveraging our border assets, leveraging your quality of life down here, the beautiful binational connections that we have. These are all the stories that we want to start telling because up until this point, no one's telling our story. So if we don't start telling our own story, then other people get to tell it for us. So that is an effort that we continue to work on, rebranding this region, rebranding every part of our community, working with your partnerships to do that. And then, as I mentioned in the last meeting, or the last time I presented to council, we hired a binational attraction manager in cooperation with GYPA in Yuma County. And Armando Mejia now is currently working on building bridges of economic development connectivity between us, Baja, and Sonora. Up here, you can see some of our binational marketing materials that he is carrying with him into markets. He's working with trade associations. He's working with development groups. He's working with investors. He's working with companies that have an interest in potentially doing work and business in the United States. And we want to ensure that these companies are not flying over us, going to Phoenix, going to Reno, going to California or Tucson, or Nogales, that they recognize that there's a lot of opportunity here, that there's value here, and obviously with your commercial port of entry in your San Luis One expansion, there's going to be more commerce opportunities for them right here in San Luis. So many meetings, meetings with different development groups, investors, exposing them to the opportunity, the investment opportunities at the border. And so we will continue to work with GYPA on promoting this area and also work on trying to drive more northbound traffic through this port of entry. In this past year, we actually had our inaugural Binational Aerospace Summit led by Yuma County, but we utilized Armando to essentially bring in a lot of different partners from Baja to ensure that they were seeing what this area has to offer. They came down to the border, they got to see a lot of different areas and assets, and this is, our ultimate goal is for Armando to represent both sides of the border and try to bring more investment to the greater Yuma area. Along with that, we also market your property sites. So on our GIS, which we spend a lot of money on, we have your sites that are of interest in San Luis. And as you can see, we've had multiple visits from a number of different companies to your site. So promoting your assets and your properties on a global scale so people know what's available here. If they're looking at Yuma County, they can also see San Luis has viable options for development and for investment. And along with that as well, working with Armando directly, as I talked about, on his retail leads, on his hospitality leads, on his efforts to bring more industry and commerce down to San Luis. Everybody's budgets are constrained. You invest in our organization to ensure that you can leverage your funds with others to get the best bang for your buck. So we take that money and we invest in different programs in upwards of $100,000 a year to help Armando be more well-equipped with for information as he goes out into to different trade shows to market San Luis. So you can see here, we've provided over 80 leads of companies that have come to our website looking at the greater Yuma area, and then also providing him with reports depending upon what he needs to build his business case for whatever he's trying to attract. Along with that, we also started the Colorado River Basin Economic Development Strategy, which basically, in a long-winded way, is us managing the economic development priorities of all Yuma County, and essentially wanting to make sure that every city's priorities, infrastructure and economic development are being outlined and put into this report. By doing so, we can then go to the Economic Development Administration and submit for grants and infrastructure programs to help provide cost offsets for San Luis's infrastructure projects. The perfect example of that would be the one in which we were able to help you get $1 million water and sewer line extension down to the Piana building. That was through the EDA. That's through our economic development planning. And so as we go forward, as you have new priorities, we want those in our actual pipeline so that we can go shop those to EDA and hopefully find you free money to get some of these projects off the ground, because I know every city has their budgetary constraints. And so we're here to find different grant opportunities to basically save you money. And then lastly, marketing the Von Verde mega site. This is a very unique site on the border. There's nowhere else in Arizona that I know of in which you have over 500 acres of developable industrial land that is shovel ready right now for business attraction. So we are being very aggressive, shopping those through our different channels, directly to companies, directly to site selectors, directly to developers on both sides of the border, essentially trying to get them to see and understand that there is a great opportunity here for projects that create jobs, create capital investment in the city of San Luis. And you have an asset here that is unlike any in all of Arizona, and we're marketing that very heavily right now to hopefully benefit San Luis for the long run. And as I mentioned earlier, Grupo Clisa, one of 3 natural gas line projects that are being proposed to come through San Luis, and you can see the route that they're proposing right now. This could be a transformative project for all of Yuma County, but in particular, it could be for San Luis if it's something the council has a will and an appetite to welcome, because there's power generation involved, there are energy-intensive manufacturing, data centers, along with other projects that would see San Luis as a site for investment, because you would have something that no one else in the state would have, which is, a abundance of power in your backyard. And so as we continue to work with these groups, we're going to ensure that your voice is being heard and that you actually have a say and input in this development as we move forward. But these will be transformative projects that the world will know about. With that, that is my brief presentation on our work at the mid-year point. I would love to hear any questions, comments you have for me.
Any questions, comments from council?
Yes, Mayor.
Yes.
Thank you, Greg. Awesome presentation as always.
Thank you.
What opened my eyes was the rebranding region. Can you give us a little bit more information on that? How would you guys rebrand the region?
So we, in working with our partners, we heard from a lot of our largest employers that they're having a hard time recruiting here for all their different institutions, right? Vita is building a new hospital down here. They're going to have to find a way to recruit physicians and different healthcare professionals down here, Regional Center of Border Health and so forth. And so initially we raised about $25,000, and we are in different publications around the country focus on particular high-level professionals, targeting markets that we know that these companies are trying to focus on to recruit talent. And then beyond that, we actually are doing multiple media campaign attraction promotions through TV, along with through social media as well, focusing on areas that they're recruiting from so that we can hopefully draw more talent down here while still working on obviously growing our own as well. But it's focused, it's just the beginning. This is a starting point. We took the lead to start this marketing committee effort, but the goal ultimately is that we create a larger branding effort that the entire county can get behind. And so everyone can have an input in it, and they also can basically be proud of representing our entire area. But we are focused on the beauty of our border, the beauty of our rivers, of our lands, outdoor recreation, and essentially trying to tell a story that this community is a great place to live, work, and play.
Great, sounds good. How about, you mentioned the retail leads, Rite Aid. Is it, what is that? Is it interested in San Luis? Is it just, researching San Luis?
So what we do is we actually have multiple tracking efforts and to find out who's coming to our websites as we do outbound attraction. As we're telling our story through different verticals, we do it through social media, we do it through direct Google ad campaigns, and we also do it through direct marketing to companies that we invest in, like distribution lists. And so as we see these companies coming to our website, evaluating City of San Luis sites, like not Starbucks, but the companies that are up there, we're making Armando aware of the contacts within those retail leads so that he can have those and directly go to those people, knowing that they've already expressed some interest in San Luis because they've come on our website, they've looked at those sites. Doesn't mean they're going to invest here, but at least it creates a warm lead for him. And that's part of the investment we make so we can track who's coming to our website, because we're doing a lot of outbound marketing, but if we don't know who's actually landing on our webpage, then it's kind of pointless. So that's the lead generation that we try to share with our partners as people express interest in your community.
Sounds good. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Anybody else? Thank you.
Thank you for your continued investment. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
Item number 6, consent agenda. All matters are considered to be routine by the City Council and will be enacted by one motion. If discussion is desired, that item will be removed from the consent agenda and will be considered separately.
I move to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
There's a motion, a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Motion carries.
Item number 7, discussion and possible action items. Item number 7A, discussion and possible action on any and all matters regarding the engagement of legal services from Pierce Coleman to serve as the contracted city attorney on an interim basis. Jenny Torres, acting city manager.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the council. As you recall, Ms. Kay McQuill retired, and so we are recruiting for an in-house attorney. In the meantime, what we have done is ask for an engagement letter from Pierce Coleman to be able to provide the legal services until we fill the position. And at this point, Pierce Coleman has been, Mr. Joe Estes has been assigned as our attorney. Behind him, there is a firm full of attorneys that can help us, but I will have Joe explain a little bit on that background.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Can you hear me? All right. So thank you for having me tonight. Again, my name is Joe Estes. I'm with partner with Pierce Coleman. We are a municipal firm. We represent over 24 cities and towns throughout the Arizona area as the appointed city and town attorney. I've got extensive experience as a municipal lawyer. I've also had the unique experience of being an elected council member for the city of Maricopa years ago, back in between 2005 and 2010. So I understand some of the things that the mayor and council go through from the political aspect of things, but I regularly represent many municipalities, including other border cities. I represent Bisbee and Nogales, so I'm familiar with the issues and things that our border communities have to go through. And if you have any questions for me, feel free to ask. I'm always available. I've had the opportunity to meet with a number of you earlier today, but if you have any questions for me tonight, right now, or later, feel free to ask.
Anybody from council has any comments or questions for Mr. Estes?
I'd just like to welcome Mr. Estes to the city, and I know that our staff is amazing to work with. They love to work in collaboration with one another, so I'm very hopeful that they'll continue treating you like they treated our other attorney, and that you support them and guide them to ensure that the city is well taken care of legally. So thank you and welcome.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Yes, I just want to welcome you to the city. I'm looking forward to work with you, Mr. Estes.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Yes, same with me. Welcome.
Anybody else? If not, I already welcome you early in the morning, so welcome to our city. Thank you for being here.
So Mayor, what we're asking tonight is that you approve the engagement services agreement, that you waive the procurement code, and that you approve it not to exceed 100,000. That will take us to the end of the fiscal year. If we are able to recruit an attorney, we'll come back and present that. But at this time, Mr. Estes will continue to provide legal services until that position is filled.
I will entertain a motion.
Mayor, I move to approve the engagement services of Pierce Coleman to serve as interim city attorney, to waive the procurement code, and not to exceed the estimated amount of 100,000 for fiscal year 2026.
I second the motion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any nays? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Item number 7B, discussion and possible action on any and all matters regarding the acceptance of Arizona Companion Animals Spay-Neuter Committee. Spay and Neuter Grant Funding, Humberto Argos, Grants Coordinator.
Hi, good afternoon, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and council members. I'm happy here to present that we got awarded a grant that we applied to the Arizona Compassion Animal Spay and Neuter Committee. We got awarded $5,000, and we are planning to help the community, incentivize them to neuter their pets and avoid, having any more litters in the community. And I ask you guys to accept this grant and move forward and engage in the community. Right now, we're currently working with the graphics and media team on a campaign on how to advertise this to the community. And this will move forward pretty soon. Any questions pertaining to the grant itself?
Is there any questions or comments? I have a comment. Thank you for securing these $5,000. Everything helps. Thank you for your effort, and please continue looking for these grants. We need them. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Yes, thank you, Humberto, for bringing this to council. And this is a big problem in our community that we face. The cats are all over the community, and they're damaging our properties. I hear it often from the neighbors and from different areas of town. So thank you for bringing this forward, and I look forward to seeing that information shared on social media. That way people can take advantage of this grant. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else? If not, I will entertain a
Yes.
motion. Yes?
Yes, I want to say thank you too for taking the initiative to apply, for applying for this grant. And also, I just want to remind us as the city and the community that we are looking forward also for Animal Cruelty Awareness Month. I think it's coming up. I know the communication team is working on it. So that's something that it's also coming up. And I just wanted to thank you for taking the initiative and securing the funding.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Mayor, I move to accept the $5,000 Arizona Companion Animal Spay Neuter Committee grant, authorize staff to execute all necessary documents and implement the funded program activities.
Second.
There's a motion, a second. All those in favor signifying by saying aye.
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 Any
Aye.
nays? Motion carries. Thank you.
Item number 7C, discussion and possible action on any and all matters regarding the acceptance and award of a construction contract to Yuma Valley Contractors, Inc. for the construction of the Lift Station 300 Influent Sewer Force Main Project. Jorge Perez, Assistant Director of Public Works.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of council, staff, and community present. Jorge Perez, Assistant Director of Public Works. In front of you, you have an item regarding our wastewater treatment plant expansion, or West wastewater treatment plant expansion. As you may recall, Mr. Elogio Vera provided an update during our previous council meeting. And during that update, it was mentioned that we're moving away from the CMAR delivery method, and we're doing a traditional bid process. We're also breaking down the treatment plant expansion into 3 phases. And being the first phase, the upgrade of the sewer force main going from lift station 300 all the way to the treatment plant. In front of you, we're seeking council approval I'm sorry, let me backtrack a little bit. So we initiated the first phase with the bidding process of the sewer force main project. We received bids from different contractors, and being the lowest bid, Yuma Valley Contractors. In front of you, we're asking City Council for the approval of their bid in the amount of $1,627,560.17. The project consists of replacing about 2,800 linear feet of sewer main and other fittings and related expenses to the project.
Any comments, questions? How things have changed. A project like this about 2-3 years ago used to cost about $700,000. It's incredible, the prices that we're getting, and it's gonna get worse. So let's try to do as much as we can with what we have, because it's totally out of control. Thank you. If there's nobody else, I'll entertain a motion.
Mayor, I move to award the contract to Yuma Valley Contractors, Inc. for the construction of the Lift Station 300 Influent Sewer Force Main Project in the amount of $1,627,560.17 as presented.
Second.
There's a motion, a second. All those in favor signifying by saying aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Motion carries. Thank you, George.
Thank you.
Item number 7D, discussion and possible action on any and all matters regarding the award of a contract to Kimley Horn and Associates, Inc. for the design of well site number 6 booster pumps station expansion design. Tomas Sanchez, City Engineer.
Good evening, Vice Mayor, Mayor, council members. Tonight, the engineering department is requesting your approval on behalf of the Public Works Department, Water Division, to approve the contract with Kimley Horn for the design of the booster pumps in well site number 6. Part of this design is part of the planning that was conducted by the city in 2016, which identified one of the first phase was upgrading the tank, which we already constructed 2 million gallon tank, and this phase was to upgrade the booster system. This booster system was gonna take us to 2025, which consists of pretty much the east part of the San Luis needs to upgrade the capacity to pump water to the east side. Right now, we're at capacity, and we need these booster pumps. This design will also upgrade the electrical system for this system and to take us for the next phase, which will include a new well, probably a new well. Kimberly Horn's proposal is to design this booster system. It includes structure, electrical, mechanical, and also they all assist us during the construction phase, which they'll conduct special inspections for us, review all the submittals, and the inspections of the tank, I mean the piping and whatnot. With that, if you have any questions.
Questions, comments from council?
I do. What's the expected time that they're gonna take to design the project?
To finish this design?
Uh-huh.
Actually, this one, we were expecting to finish and go to construction this year, but we couldn't. Actually, we hired Kimberly Horn early on, 2025, second part of 2025, and they conducted a conceptual study because they didn't want to actually start in design without knowing what they were getting themselves into. So they conducted a conceptual plan of these booster pumps already. So we expect them to start right away, but most likely, construction will start in next fiscal year, 2027. And with that, we'll identify early on if we can move funds not use this fiscal year to other projects.
Anybody else?
So the rest of the $1 million budgeted are we gonna do one of the usual moving into next fiscal year, or?
And Jorge might help identify where this can help.
Good evening again, Councilmember De La Hoya. As for the budgeted amount for this fiscal year, we won't be able to use the entirety of the budgeted amount. What we're planning on doing with the design of Kimberly Horn, part of their scope is to assist us with early procurement on the electrical equipment. So we're gonna be coming back to council once we're more into the design with asking your approval to initiate a portion of the purchases of the electrical equipment, which is most of it's a long lead delivery, and that'll encompass a large chunk of the budgeted dollars that we have for this project for this year. As Tomas mentioned, we won't be able to construct the project this year. So during our budget preparation and request for fiscal year 27, you're gonna be seeing this project again for continuation.
Thank you.
Anybody else? If not, I will entertain a motion.
Mayor, I move to approve the professional service contract with Kimley Horn and Associate, Inc. for the design of well site 6 booster pump station expansion in the amount of $136,460 as presented.
Second.
There's a motion, a second. All those in favor signifying by saying aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Motion carries. Thank you. Thank you, Tomas.
Item number 7E, discussion and possible action on any and all matters regarding resolution number 2392, a resolution of the mayor and city council of the city of San Luis, Arizona, approving the intergovernmental agreement between the city of San Luis and Gadsden Elementary School District for the use of city facilities for reunification drills. Jenny Torres, acting city manager.
Good evening, Mayor and Vice Mayor, members of the council. The Gadsden School District has been working in an emergency plan. Within that plan, they have reached out to the city of San Luis to try to use one of our facilities in case of an emergency. They initiated in one park and they realized that, there were too many students to be able to allocate them all in one location, at least at that location. So they selected Joe Orduño as the second, or will be the primary site for those emergency. In case of an emergency, they've been working with every school and doing drills at those locations. But what we have proposed is that we do an IGA, both the city council to approve and the Gadsden School District to approve, so that our risk pool and their trust can cover in terms of liability for both the city and the school district. So what this IGA, what it does, it assures that One, that we will allow them to use our fields, that we will apply some resources, and when I mean resources, it's just the staff to guide them. They do understand that in case of a major disaster, our public safety personnel might not be focused there if there is a major emergency throughout the city, but what their responsibility is their kids in the school and trying to get them into a location. The IGA has been reviewed by the attorney from the school district and by our attorney, and so we are ready to proceed. I don't know if you have any specific questions.
Any questions, comments?
I have a quick
Go ahead.
comment, question, well, a comment and then a question. Thank you for cooperating with the school district. You know, we've been working for a while on creating an emergency procedures manual for all of our schools, which is one of those documents that we have to work on and plan on and spend money on, but hopefully we would never have to use it. So I appreciate the collaboration on that. And that triggers my question on the city side, as when the police department conducts their police drills for training. Does this mean that we're gonna have to have another IGA to do that, or?
Where's the chief? There you are. I'm gonna have the chief answer this.
Good afternoon. Can you repeat that question? Sorry.
So the question is, since it's this triggered, like as a school district working with the city to do the district's emergency operations manual for each of its schools, does that mean that the police department is gonna need a IGA to conduct your police training drills that you do?
But are you referring to when we do it because we're using your facility, or?
Correct.
No, we shouldn't have to do another one, no.
So in case of something, whose liability would it be?
But we do have it in the IGA. We did put that we could also use the school district facility. So it is included, not specifically per PD or, we didn't specify any specific location. We said that if you're able to use our facilities, we should be able to use yours as well. So that's
we're
in the
covered
IGA.
360 all around. Okay.
Oh, and then you open the can of worms now. There's a chief in here, a fired person from the fire department. I always allow the fire department to use our buildings, especially the big buildings, because that's what they need to train. Do they need to do the same thing? I mean, the buildings are very well insured, but I don't know. I don't know. So it's just a peace of mind.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, City Council. So if I understand the question, you're asking if we need to practice on larger buildings?
No, you guys are using my buildings, okay? Full disclosure, Rydell buildings, okay? It could be the grocery store or one of our empty buildings while it's being built. The fire department has been using our buildings to practice.
To practice, yes.
Although they're always insured, and now with this, he opened a can of worms. Do we have to be included? I mean, I don't know. It's just a question.
I don't know.
Maybe that's for our new lawyer.
So Mayor, Council, the question is whether or not the city should have an agreement with you for the buildings that the fire department uses
For the
training.
Rydell Holdings buildings, not with the mayor.
Right.
Okay?
For the company's buildings
Uh-huh.
that the fire department uses for training purposes, yes, we can look into doing an agreement just so we make sure that there's no issues with indemnity and liability and things like that.
Oh, thank you. We've been doing it for years. So thank you for bringing this up. Okay,
I
thank
learn
you.
something every day.
I know. Okay.
Betty, creating more work for me. You know?
Good. We're going to keep you busy. Okay, if there's nobody else, I'll entertain a motion.
I do have a comment.
Okay.
Thank you for this partnership in support of the school district, for the drills that they're conducting. But I would also love to see an IGA with the district, and I brought this up before, for the events that they ask for our support and the events that we ask them to support us in, because it still takes peace away from me knowing that we don't allow them to have a 2 block, what was it, a march or anti-bullying, no, it was a Special Olympics,
Special Olympics.
parade, and they're some of the most vulnerable population that are in our community, and that the city closed the door because of technicalities, leave it at that. When if we're doing an IGA, they're paying to insure their students, and we're supporting. I don't see why we can't cooperate to make a parade possible for the kids, not only for the special education students, but I know they had their anti-bullying march and whatnot, and we can always look at a plan, but closing the door to the students is not okay with me. And I think that we can continue to collaborate and work together to make sure that they are seen and they are heard and they are valued in our community. So I just want to put that out there. I'm glad that this IGA is here and that communication is happening now. But moving forward, I would like to see a little bit more.
Noted, council
Okay,
member.
on
We'll
that
look into
one,
it.
since
Yes.
everybody's bringing this thing,
Or bring my pen here.
I know why it's being done, and I'm totally in agreement to do it as much as we can to accommodate everybody. But then what's going to happen? I just saw a letter from the church that they're going to do their yearly, what is it called, Miss Oli? Where people marches, and I'm a bad Catholic, okay? El Via Crucis, okay? Bad Catholic. And they ask for the streets and this and that, and they have denied to. So this is for Mr. Estes. If we're gonna open the doors for one, we better open the doors for every single person that wants to use the streets. We better be very careful, because at the end of the day, it's a big liability.
Yeah.
I'm not against none of this, but I do know the liability that comes with it. Just food for thought, okay? If you're gonna say yes to somebody, you better be ready to say yes to the Catholics, which I am.
Mayor, what we'll do is, we're actually looking at all the IGAs that we have existing on files to understand, what collaborations we're working. Usually the IGAs are between, government to government. We do have some with the school districts, and I believe we had one a while back with Gaston. So what we'll do is we'll take a look and see, what can they benefit by working with us and what we can benefit by working with them, what resources can we share. If we feel that there's some benefits to it, then we'll proceed and try to bring in, an IGA between us. But you know where I stand. If there is no resources and we're limited, then that, I'll base that on my recommendation. When it comes to parades, we're been working on an application and a process so that anybody that wants to use our streets for a parade, there is a process already established for that.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank you.
Jenny, I want to add to, while you're looking into or considering the IGAs, just to remember not to make those IGAs as a cookie cutter, because
Right.
everybody is different. I mean, developing an IGA with Gaston School District or the church or any other entity, it's totally different. So I understand we need to look into the level of cooperation and relationship that we have. So please consider that when we're doing the IGAs, not to make it like, make it all fit all in one, because it's
Yeah.
not gonna work.
Yeah, usually our RGAs are with other government entities and possibly some school districts. I don't know if there's been any IGAs with the churches. I don't believe so. But, we'll look into all those matters.
Please, because at the end of the day, the city should be out there in the community cooperating with everyone. We used to do that in the past for before the last 3 years. I mean, the city cooperated a lot. The last 3 years, a lot of that collaboration ended. But I think it's time to start looking into that, and the IGAs is the best way to get it straightforward and make sure that we constructed in the right way. Not, again, I'm going to keep using the word cookie cutter because it's not for everyone.
Okay, noted.
Yeah.
Mayor, I have a comment.
Please.
Yes, Jenny, correct. That is an intergovernmental agreement. The church is not a government. There's other, Proverbs uses the policies, procedures that you guys give us. So there's something is established for churches and other organizations. But yes, it's not a government.
Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else?
Mayor, I move to approve and adopt resolution number 2392.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All those in favor signifying by saying aye.
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 Any nays? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Torres.
Item number 8, summary of current events, events by mayor, council members, and/or city manager pursuant to ARS Section 38-431.02K.
Anybody has anything to report? If not, I do. Last week, I visited the senior center because there's a current issue right now with occupancy. I want to personally thank every single department that listened to me, and after visiting, we met, we got together. Everybody was there that was there, like the fire department, development services, Ms. Torres, Parks and Rec, trying to find solutions. And I just want people to know that, yes, the city's working very hard and making sure that we know there's 97 people in the waiting list, and pretty soon they're gonna be receiving a call or a letter telling them that, yes, we do have occupancy. Just be a little bit patient with us. There's a lot of things that goes into this, but we're working on it. Expect a call, and in any given date, the senior center receives from 45 people to 60. There's room for 258. It's a matter of everybody getting together and working towards giving this vital service to our seniors. I don't know if you know this, but there's quite a few of our seniors that the only meals that they get during the day is when they go to the senior center. Another thing that is very important to the seniors, and it should be very important to all of us, this is where they have their social gatherings, okay? This is where they can go and spend a few hours, keep busy, keep in touch with each other, and this is a good way for them to socialize. Actually, there's the only way that some of these seniors are able to socialize. So thank you for the staff that listen to me, that are working with me. This is a very important issue, and it needs to be taken care of right away. And I know that everybody's working really hard to make sure that hopefully by next week, people start calling. There's room for 258. In any given day, I don't think we can corral 258 seniors and everybody's gonna show up. At our age, sometimes we don't feel like getting up, sometimes we don't wanna go, sometimes we're sick, sometimes our kids will kidnap us and take us with them, even if we don't wanna go. I'm not in that position yet, but they're planning on doing that. And thank you, every single one of you that are looking into this issue. Thank you for being patient, these seniors. Gracias por tenernos paciencia. La administración está trabajando en esto. Muchas gracias. If there's nothing else, I'll entertain.
There is a new pet park that was announced a couple of weeks ago, and that's a good thing for our community, but now our constituents are asking, personally, I've been receiving a lot of calls and messages about constituents that live on the east side of San Luis. Now they're asking about our original park, why that park is not completed yet. I understand the restrooms were installed a couple of months ago, but I haven't seen any ribbon cutting or any announcement on it. So I would like to ask staff, you, Jenny, or Parks and Rec to give us a report and status of what's going on with that park. I think our citizens deserve to have an update at least, because now that they see the new park is coming up and they're thinking what's happening with the other park. So we need to try to provide a report or an update of, maybe you're working on it right now, but if you have something to say, if you can, thank you.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Angelica Roldan, Parks and Recreation Director. We sent some information regarding the update, and I've been telling this at the leadership meetings. So we're working at the East Community Park. So we're finishing up the phase of the soccer fields. We're also fencing, and I'm currently working on doing a video. You're gonna see it pretty soon. It's not only the east side, but we're also working different projects that we have at Joe Orduño Park, which is the restrooms that we're adding, and we're also working on the new lighting of the Joe Orduño Park F1 sport field. But you're gonna get that, we're gonna be doing that video pretty soon. We're getting ready for it, and we're working on it. And then for the next council meeting, we have an item already that we're presenting regarding that, but we've been giving updates on our leadership meetings.
Okay, good. Do
Okay.
you have an estimated time frame of when that park will be
Yeah,
completed?
yeah, we have an estimated update. We're thinking to do it by May of this year, but we've been giving updates to our city manager.
And that's for the soccer fields, right?
Yes, this is for the
This
soccer
is for the
fields.
soccer fields. The
We're-
sidewalks are going to be.
Yes, we're currently working with Elogio and also our city engineer, and we're working on the sidewalks as well.
All right, thank you for the update. I look forward for that presentation.
No, anytime, and I'm always free at my office. You're welcome to be there, or I can also give you a tour at the park.
All right, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Thank you.
Anybody else?
Yes, Mayor, I just want to mention that this morning, Councilmember Servin, Cruz, and Cabrera, and myself attended the groundbreaking for Bright Night solar plant, which is going to be in operations in next year, which is going to bring about 60 million in local and state property tax revenue, and it's going to bring about 800 jobs to the region. This is going to be huge because they're going to be providing 20 years of low-cost electricity for the community. So we thank Bright Night for the invitation, and we welcome to the community.
Anybody else?
Yes, Mayor, I would like to make a comment. Last Saturday, we hosted our community connections, conversations with the council. I just want to say thank you to the staff for getting that set up, and now it's programmed to have several meetings throughout the year. So looking forward to continuing to connect with the community on a more informal basis and getting to listen to your concerns and what you guys are looking forward to for us to work. We're here to work for you, and getting that conversation going to see what your priorities are is essential to me. So thank you, staff, for continuing. For the people that have been attending those meetings, thank you. Thank you for sharing feedback. It's very valuable. And regarding the senior center, to the people that brought up the issues that are happening at the senior center, thank you for the trust. Continue to make us aware of what's going on. We have rules in place to protect you guys. And if people are in there with intentions, with no proper intentions, then we can enforce those rules. But we need to be made aware of what's going on. That way, Jenny and administration can take action. So I was very happy to see several community people out there, and I continue to invite people to attend. We have our next one in April, and you'll see that on social media. So please keep in mind that we're doing this to connect with you guys because we're here to work for you. So thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? If there's nothing else, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
If I may?
Sure.
I would like to give an update on the recent change that was done and approved, signed by our governor on Friday. And this is regarding the upcoming elections. It has been changed now, so the election date is scheduled to take place on July 21st. Instead of August 4th. I have already informed the mayor and council and the potential candidates, and with this change, it also affects some other deadlines, such as the filing period and the deadline to register to vote and the deadline to request an early ballot. More information is available at the city clerk's office. If anybody wants to contact me, I'll be happy to provide that information.
Thank you. So, Mr. Allen, better be ready with your signatures. Okay? Okay, if there's nothing else, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I move to adjourn the meeting.
Second, all those in favor signifying by saying aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Motion carries.